Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with Game 5 of the Nova 2013 tournament. My Empire army versus a Dark Elf army. Then this, I feel a little bittersweet about this game because I really think this is probably the last time I'm going to face a lot of typical items in the Dark Elf book, because I think their new book is expected out in just a few weeks, and this list is very much uses a lot of the standard things in competitive Dark Elf lists. So. Yeah, I didn't get his list, but I can tell you it's pretty standard. So there are Dark Riders on the right, a large unit of their warriors. They've got two spellcasters in there. One's a level 4 Shadow, and the other one is level 1 or 2 Death. He's got the hero level character on a Pegasus, and he's got the 1-up armor save and then the reverse ward save. Hydra behind it. Big unit of executioners. This thing scares me to death. My demis and my knights need to get nowhere near this thing. My only thought is to weaken them through Hellblaster Volley Gun and maybe Dwellers Below, and then get my Halberdiers up in there just to absorb all those high strength hits. His Cauldron of Blood behind it. He's got a unit of crossbows just to the left and another unit on the hill. Some Harpies behind the hill, and he has 2 assassins. So, of course I don't know where the assassins are, but it makes sense to me that one is with the warriors and one is with the executioners. So I decided to do something different with my war machines. Put one on the hill, put my Captus over there to protect it for a turn, and then just go do something else. I don't know what he's going to accomplish this game. Got my steam tank. Anyway, I don't need to read it to you. You can see what I have there. One thing occurred to me. I put my Hellblaster volley gun sideways at the very front of my line, and the reason I did that is because actually my halberdiers were already there, and I wanted to put it up front so I could start shooting at the executioners, and it wouldn't fit in the normal way, so I just put it sideways. And then it occurred to me that I told my opponent I'm not going to do this, but it occurred to me that one thing that could be done there is you place it like this, and then when it's your turn during the shooting phase, you pivot it, and then you're within 24 inches. But I would feel a little too cheesy doing something like that, so I told him I wasn't going to do it, but the thought occurred to me. There's the far left. So far, every game this tournament, I've won the turn to go first. So Steam Tank zooms up there again. I'm only putting, I think, 2 dice towards my movement, and it doesn't matter. He just rushes forward. I move the Hellblaster up, so he won't be able to shoot this turn, but that's okay. Notice I have my Engineer near the Hellblaster, because that's the one that matters the most. The cannons are hit or miss, and really in his list, the cannons are good against the Hydra, and other than that, not that much worth against much anything else. Playing games over here, trying to hold off his fast cav. There's that. I think I shoot straight ahead and I fail to wound anything. But in the magic phase, I get Dwellers Below off on his executioners and take out what I should take out, about half of them. Maybe a third. I don't remember what that unit started with. So that takes a lot of pressure off. Now I'm not worried at all about getting my Halberdiers in with them. He's going to do a lot of damage to me, but I'll get to go first, and I can win that. So Dark Elf won. On the left, his Harpies fly up to redirect my Demigryphs. His Executioners go ahead and rush forward. It brings his Hydra around. Now I've got the Flaming Banner on my Demigryph, so I would love to match my Demigryphs up against his Hydra. I do want to get some wounds off the Hydra, though, so his breath attack isn't as strong as otherwise would be. On the right, he takes his Unkillable Master and charges my Steam Tank. Not a bad strategy, just to hold that Steam Tank up for the rest of the game. On the far right, he decides he doesn't want to mess around with my Captain on Pegasus, so he takes his Dark Riders and just moves them behind his line for redirection later. I was kind of surprised by that, because I was kind of thinking if he charged me, he'd probably win that. Hatred, Strength 4, yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in Captuses. So there's this. Yeah, he's not going to kill my Steam Tank, obviously, not with this dude alone. And my plan is just to grind as much as possible. I can get past his armor save pretty easily, and then he just has to roll a few 1s. So he'll have a 2 upward save against all those high strength stuff. I'm also going to be throwing that Strength 2 breath weapon at him, which will have a hard time getting past his armor save. But if I do, he'll have his ward save won't be very much help to him. So I just need him to fail 3. He takes his shooting out, kills the Hellblaster. That really surprised me, but assassins, if you look at the executioners, he popped his assassin up there. They are very well suited for that with their Manbane and Rending Stars and all that kind of stuff, because it basically puts them at 1 or 2 strength higher than whatever your toughness is. And so, yeah, that was ended up being an easy kill for him. Empire turn 2. Um, yeah, so Demigryphs go ahead and charge the Harpies to get them out of the way. I move some archers up so to redirect his executioners. My plan is to dwellers them one more time and then get in combat with them. But I want to be my halberdiers. I didn't want him to have his choice of who to charge, because if he charged my knights, I'd be in trouble. Yep, so there's that. Notice I took my wizard out of the halberdiers and put him in with the archers. With all the shooting, even though he only has 2 units of 10 crossbows, it's so many shots that I am worried about him picking off my level 4. There's that. That'll be an easy win for the Demigryphs. Cannon opens up in the Hydra. I get past his regen. I roll 3 wounds. So I would have preferred to have killed him, but I'll take it. That's, yeah, 3 wounds down. Demigryphs easily beat the Harpies in reform. And if you look at the Executioners, they got Dwellers Below off again. Obviously, it's much less effective with fewer models, but it doesn't matter. He's down to 1 rank plus a guy, plus 2 guys. Very, very, very manageable. And over here, of course, Unkillable and Unkillable are not killing each other. Dark Elves turn 2. His Executioners charge the archers. Just get him out of the way. He moves his Hydra up so he can breathe on the halberdiers. So that means I'm going to get an easy charge with my Demigryph Knights, and with the Flaming Banner, they're just going to rock that Hydra. And I'm glad I got 3 wounds off the Hydra, because that breath weapon's going to hit just, most of my unit. And so I think, its strength is relatively low now, so it shouldn't be a problem. If you look at my wizard down below, I have a wound on my wizard and a couple archers gone, so I'm pretty sure that's from miscast from the second Dwellers Below. But that's the nice thing about Lore of Life. You can be a little bit cavalier about stuff, knowing that you can regrow wounds. So another angle after combat. And over here, I snuck 2 wounds past this dude. So that was very, very nice. So now, he could still last the rest of the game, but 2 out of 3 down. And after combat, I didn't get a picture of Empire turn 3 of the middle of the board, but basically I charged his Executioners. Yeah, so the Demigryphs on the left just reformed after overrunning and then killing the fast cav. The Halberdiers got the 5-up ward and re-rolling to wound. We go in and get a challenge with his assassin and my champion. He kills my champion, but barely. I think he only did like 1 wound. And then I chop up his Executioners. I don't even know if they got to attack, and if they did, they didn't. They didn't even get to attack. It's a bummer. I kind of wish he had 1 guy left, because then he'd be on Snake Eyes to rally. But as it is, I couldn't kill the assassin because he's in a challenge, and he gets away, and now he's going to re-roll easily, and he's still very formidable. So, but overall, I can't complain about how the game's going. Dark Elf turn 3 moves his. He charges some crossbows into my Demigryphs. He said there's a reason for it, and he never explained to me later. He's moving his Dark Riders up to redirect my Halberdiers. He rallies his assassin. If you look on the right, he takes his low level 1 or 2, I don't remember, who has death, and is going to try to cast Purple Sun so that it nicks my steam tank and goes all the way down my lines. So not a bad strategy, especially when it kills your steam tank and kills 2/3 of your halberdiers. It didn't quite make it to the Demigryphs. So it ended up bouncing through them, but because it didn't make it that far, they didn't have to take those initiative tests. So that was rough. That was real rough. That really, points-wise, really started swinging the game, because I thought I was to the point where I was just going to mop them off the table. So after combat, this is where my Demigryphs overran, and they nicked the Dark Riders, so we got that charge there. And So Empire turn 4. Go ahead and charge my Inner Circle Knights into his unkillable dude, because there's only 1 wound left, and that is a lot more killable. So the Halberdiers, I reform 2 wide facing the warriors, and I take the warrior priest out, put him behind him. So what I'm doing there, if I reformed any other way and he charges me with the warriors, because he still has an assassin, right? So those guys are really nasty. He's going to just totally destroy my halberdiers and kill my battle standard bearer. So what I did here is, if he charges me, I'm going to flee, and no matter what I roll, I will bounce through my warrior priest. And as long as my warrior priest doesn't panic, there's no way he can catch me with his warriors. And even if he does, he's going to be hard pressed to get me with his warriors. So that's what's going on there. Yep, there's a close-up. After combat, look on the right. My Inner Circle Knights took the last wound off his unkillable dude, got an overrun into his level 1 or level 2 death. He charged my Halberdiers. I fled and ended up as you can see it, and everything ended up like that. So now normally when we go to Empire turn 5, I love the idea of charging the Demigryphs into his warriors, because over time I'm going to win that, and then I can get a flank charge with my knights. The problem is we both know we're running low on time. So we get Empire turn 5. Let's see, I think he must have charged the Hurricanum, trying to get out of line of sight of my Inner Circle Knights, so I flee. If you look at my level 4 on the right, I think that must be his shooting that's hurting that unit. So my level 4 still has a wound, and he's down to 1 archer with him. I rally my BSB's unit, put my Warrior Priest in with them afterwards. I think that's legal, and if it's not, please let me know. Here's where I made a big mistake. I didn't charge the Demigryphs into the warriors because I was thinking we're going to get the end of my turn, and then if we rush through it, we can have my opponent's turn. And there's just no way I'm going to break him. He's got high leadership. He's got a reroll. I need time to grind that unit down, and I just don't have enough time, so why risk it? Because with his assassin, things could go ill against me. So instead, I charge into his Cauldron of Blood. The reason that's a mistake is I should have charged in there, let his assassin do his worst, and then it allocated all my attacks at his assassin and his level 4 and picked up easy points. And even if I lost combat, odds are I get away. I don't know. Well, I guess if he broke me, I would have counted as dead anyway in this tournament. Anyway, game after game in this tournament, I find myself doing stuff like that. That's just a dumb mistake. So there's that overrun. That should be easy points. There's that. This Cauldron of Blood is brutal. And then at the end of our turn, basically, when we got to the combat phase, we were given this warning like, hey, there's like 5 minutes left. And we didn't realize it was that tight on time. So I offered to my opponents, like, look, if you want, we don't have to do any combats because we're not going to get to your turn anyway. Or if you want, we can finish the combats and we'll be a few minutes over. And he wanted to finish the combats. So I killed the mage on the right. I reformed just in case he had a turn. I didn't want to be able to see me get a charge. If you look at top, yeah, he kills a Demigryph and otherwise sticks. And the game ends like that. So I thought it was going to be like a 24-0 crushing victory on my part. It ended up not being. It was another small victory. He still has some crossbows. He's got an assassin, Cauldron of Blood, big block of warriors, assassin, and a level 4. So he's got tons of stuff left. And I don't remember if my Hurricanum rallied. If it didn't, then he got those points. He got the steam tank. Got the Hellblaster. So easily a win for the Empire, but it just wasn't a real big one. So anyway, that's it. 1 game left in the tournament, and then I'll post my follow-up thoughts.